Why, hello there everyone, it is I, Epic Swatty, and today we have the third great chapter, the Naruto Edo Tensei Chronicles, Chapter 3. Pew, 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 pew. And that is as hype as I can make this. Actually, it is a pretty lovely story. Do please go support 11 the Ego on fanfiction.net. Listen to his story, read his stories, and if you just want to listen to him while you're doing something else, please feel free to subscribe. Now, what this little bit I've got. Oh, yes. Now, before we actually get into the video proper, I have to say this because I did look at my analytics, and I must say, guys, some viewers know you're not viewers only. You come here, watch video, don't subscribe, don't like, don't comment, go home. Like viruses. Come on, just subscribe. It's not that difficult. It's a red button. Comment down below. Tell me you love me. Anything. Now, with that weird thing out of the way, let's get into the third chapter to Naruto the Edo Tensei Chronicles. Naruto felt his Kyuubi mode cease, but he was still determined to win. Ota! That's not Naruto, but whatever. He said to Dodai, "Tell everyone to get back. I'm going into standard mode to take down Jicha Raikage." The rubber-style user seemed hesitant. Naruto, I don't know what you planned, and I know I don't need to repeat this again, but you need to hurry. He's down to 3 fingers. End this as fast as you can. Without another word, Dodai retreated, leaving Naruto and the Raikage alone. The Jinchuriki had been absorbing nature chakra, and his demeanor became more serious as his eyelids took on a reddish-orange hue. It was time to end this. Kurama had been trying to form a strategy with Naruto during his transition into Sennin mode, and they had come to the conclusion that the Raikage could only be stopped by one person. Himself. Brat, you heard what Gyuki said. I think you figured it out already, but when he fought the Giza, he must have fallen onto his own hand. Get the Raikage to injure himself, and do it fast. You have people to reunite with, don't you? Naruto nodded inwardly, then he held his hands out in a familiar position. Kagebushi no Jutsu! Fuck me. A clone popped out next to him, and he began swirling his hands over the original Naruto's, forming a ball of concentrated chakra. The blonde held the Rasengan in his hands, watching as the Raikage ran towards him. In a flash, the blonde sprinted towards him. Yosh! Using Frog Kumite, I can hit his arm, and then if everything goes well, Jicha will hit himself. That was so different from the previous voice, goddammit. As the two ran at each other, Naruto watched as the Raikage lowered 2 more fingers, leaving just 1 left. His eyes widened as he realized that if he didn't make the right hit, he would disintegrate. Well, though it would only be temporary, he didn't want to leave the shinobi alone with a powerful Hokage. As Naruto approached the man, he went under his hand at the last moment, hitting him right in the middle of his arm, and the force of his Rasengan led to the Raikage to puncture his own chest, and he looked at the young blonde in surprise. The powerhouse slowly began disintegrating. Naruto panted as he watched the sealing team rush forward. Turning around, he walked towards Temari, who looked a little worse for wear. "How's everyone been?" Naruto asked hesitantly, knowing it was a lame question to ask, especially at a time like this. Temari was, of course, fuming. Fuck, that's a woman! Okay, lads, I'm gonna do my bloody best. I don't have a woman to record this for me, so this is gonna suck. How's everyone been? That's the first thing you ask me after you miraculously come back to life to fight with us? Baka fuck! I'm so sorry, 11 the Ego. I didn't mean for it to be weird. She yelled as she hit him on the head with her fan. Ow! What else am I supposed to say? He grunted miserably as he clutched his head in pain. The blonde girl glared at him, then sighed as she looked in the distance, where Gaara was presumably fighting the Mizukage. Everyone took it really hard, Naruto. You have a lot of explaining to do. My little brother, he may look emotionless, but you changed him, Naruto. You better talk to him properly before the Edo Tensei ends. Naruto looked at his feet, a sad expression adorning his face, which Temari and the surrounding shinobi took notice of. I know there's a lot for me to say, and I don't want to have to keep repeating it. When Gaara gets back here with that Gigi, I'll explain everything. For what it's worth, though, I'm sorry I died like that. I missed everyone too, you know. The Temari looked back at the Jinchuriki with a grim expression as she rubbed her face tiredly. Sounds good, Naruto. Right now, though, we need to tell HQ about this new discovery. If you have come back to help us, Inochi-san and Shukaku-san can figure something out. Naruto nodded, then looked around to see if there was anyone he knew nearby, cursing inwardly as he couldn't recognize his friends. He prayed silently that they were all safe, especially that girl he had come to love, Hinata Hyuga. You better tell us how you're here, Naruto, or I'll dump my sand on you. Naruto's eyes widened at the threat, and he laughed sheepishly. Relax, Gaara. I'll tell you everything. But before I do, you have to promise not to be mad at me, alright? The redhead glanced at his sister and the Tsuchikage before reluctantly agreeing. Saying that he was in the clear, Naruto began his story, explaining how he and Kurama successfully had been able to prevent the Akatsuki from taking the Kyuubi. Naruto rubbed his chest and he remembered his pain from the extraction and how it felt to waste away so bloody slowly. So that's how I died. Shinigami-sama sent me here himself, because apparently there's an imbalance of life and death, so that's why I'm here fighting alongside you all. Once he thinks my time is up, I'll disintegrate again, which is bad because there's no telling when I'll be recalled. So I want to help out as much as I can before I gotta cut him off. So there's absolutely no chance of having you brought back to life, is there, Naruto? The blonde shook his head, then looked at his friend sadly. As much as I would love to be here with you all, my time's already come to an end. My only goal now is to make sure that everyone else doesn't share my fate. Naruto faced away from them and looked towards the rest of the shinobi, who were all working together to help the injured. When I look at this, I see the beginning of peace. I see the start of something greater, and I can only hope that this can continue for years to come. Gaara, Temari, Tsuchikage Jiji, all I can hope for now is to preserve what has become the start of something far greater than all of us. His profound words stunned the Temari, who had only seen the Uzumaki as an idiot who was constantly rushing into things. This side of him was unnerving. That was weird. I will do everything in my power to help sustain this peace, Naruto. I swear on our friendship. Now, we have to contact Shukaku and let him know what's going on. We have the chance to turn the tides of this war, and we need to take advantage of it. Gaara said determinedly as his friend smiled at him in return. Temari glanced at Gaara subtly, then walked towards the shinobi, asking if there was any Yamanakas or senses to help connect them to HQ. Once he found someone, they put her through to Inoichi. Inochi-san, there's been a development. You need to get Shukaku-san to listen to this as well as the Hokage and Raikage. Ino's father was surprised, but listened to her nonetheless. You have our attention, Temari. Go ahead, let us know what is happening. The blonde got into the explanation quickly, leaving no details behind. As soon as he was done, Temari was met with a deafening silence, and as she was about to ask what was happening, Tsunade began talking. Fuck, another woman. This can't be happening. Naruto, how could it be? She said as she held back tears. Tsunade hadn't felt so vulnerable in a long time, and she didn't know what to think. I can assure you that this is all happening, Hokage-sama. We need to act fast. Naruto has given us an opportunity, and we need to use it now. Shukaku-san, can you form a strategy to incorporate him in battle? Asked Temari. The Nara had been silent this whole time, lost in thought. Naruto can use the Kagebushin Jutsu quite well. We can send his clones to different regiments so he can help out. If he has harnessed the Kyuubi's chakra as you said he has, then he's our best shot. If that doesn't work, then I'll think of something. This is the best I have so far. Temari voiced her approval, then she cut the telepathy off so she could inform Naruto of the plan. She hated to admit it, but the knucklehead ninja before her had already increased her determination to win the war. He had a way of doing that. Well, at least that was what Shikamaru said. Naruto's positivity gave everyone hope, and just this one battle alone had increased everyone's spirit considerably. As soon as Temari told him of what he was to do, he immediately entered Kyuubi mode and sent a dozen clones out to fight the enemies. Gaara and Onoki watched as Naruto pointed at them, punching his hand with a fist as he cracked his neck. Yos! He yelled. Let's win this war! Kakashi and Guy were nearing the side of the blast, expecting the shinobi in that area to be fighting someone, As they approached the sandy terrain, they saw the Kazekage and Tsuchikage in the distance. The silver-haired Jonin's eyes widened when he saw someone glowing orange standing next to the Kages. "Guy," he asked, "do you see what I'm seeing?" Guy looked at where Kakashi was facing, then shook his head. "I don't know who that is, but we better hurry up. If there's going to be a confrontation with this unyouthful person, we need to step in." The two Konoha shinobi ran towards the mysterious figure, but were stopped by Gaara, who walked out to meet them. "Kazekage-sama, is there a problem?" Kakashi asked seriously. The redhead shook his head, that's weird, of making both Guy and Kakashi relax a little. "No, but I need you to understand what's going on." He never got the chance to finish as someone interrupted him. "Kakashi-sensei!" yelled an oddly familiar voice. Kakashi's heart stopped as he saw Naruto standing before him. His beloved student was supposed to be dead, yet he was now looking at him with Edo Tensei eyes. "Naruto? It can't be. Is that really you?" The blonde stood next to an irate Gaara who was glaring at Naruto for interrupting him. "Kakashi-sensei, I missed you, you know. Did you come here to help us out?" The copy ninja felt like collapsing, but he stood still, his face blanching at the sight of his student. Guy wasn't feeling so good either. The green spandex-clad Jonin was shocked, to say the least. He knew how hard Naruto's death was on his rival, and no matter what he said, it seemed like Kakashi blamed himself for it entirely. It was hard to get a read on Kakashi, and after years of friendship, Guy still had a tough time with it. The Icha paradise-loving shinobi wasn't one to show emotions so easily, yet Naruto's death had triggered something deeper within him. Guy knew that this time losing a comrade, especially Kakashi's own student, was destroying him on the inside. Naruto frowned as he noticed his sensei's odd behavior. "I know you might have questions for me, but I'll answer them later on. Right now, we have a chance to..." Kakashi stepped forward in an action completely uncharacteristic for the stoic shinobi. He grabbed Naruto in a tight hug, and quickly let go as embarrassment took over him, but he ruffled the Jinchuriki's hair fondly. "You have no idea how much we've missed you, Naruto. No. We all need you now more than ever. This time, we'll protect you." He looked at the ex-Anmu with a grim expression. "We'll talk about this on the way, but Sensei, as much as I'm happy to be back, it's only temporary. This is only another Tensei, don't forget that. If I'm about to get hit by something, you have to let it happen. I'll regenerate." Naruto watched as Kakashi and Guy both nodded at him, then he turned to Gaara. "It's time for us to go now, Gaara. With QB mode, I can locate negative energy. The three of us will go to the area with the most dense negative energy. You guys should focus on moving towards the opponents nearby." The Kazekage thought about this, then looked at his friend warily. "Alright, but Naruto, you need some way to contact HQ. I'll let Inoichi know about this. He'll keep a tether to Kakashi or Guy so that you can get all the information." The three Konoha shinobi glanced at each other and nodded before running off. Hinata was struggling. There were dozens upon dozens of clones around her, and each second I speak, the winter's starting to get more and more dense for me. And now I can't breathe through my nose, I'm so sorry. But the voice acting just dropped by like 80 fucking points all of a sudden, I'm sorry. Hinata was struggling. There were dozens upon dozens of clones around her, each one taking the form of somebody fighting nearby. She couldn't tell the enemy apart from the allies, which would prove to be deadly if she didn't figure something out fast. Neji was out of sight, but Hinata had faith that her cousin could handle his own. As for her teammates, Kiba and Shina were tiring quickly. If this fight didn't end soon, the casualties would increase, and the Hyuga Heiress was determined to prevent that from happening. As she turned around to hit who she hoped was a clone in the chest, a loud voice startled her. "Hinata, watch out!" Kiba's warning came too late. As she turned around, a sword was aimed directly at her chest. Hinata panicked, and she knew that no matter what happened, she couldn't die. Not now, of all times. It was all happening so fast that she couldn't tell what was going on. A bright, glowing figure jumped in front of her, stopping the blade's path as they kicked the clone out of harm's way. Hinata watched in fascination as the figure identified each clone, defeating every last one of them in that area. Activating her Byakugan, she stifled a gasp as she saw a familiar sight, one she had practically memorized. Who are you? Why do you have Naruto-kun's chakra?" she whispered. "I am not going to do voices for women. I can't. It's just embarrassing." The young Hyuga heiress wasn't prepared as Kiba and Shino stumbled forward to protect her. The man turned around, his gaze strictly focused on the lavender-eyed princess, and he smiled at her lovingly. "Hinata, I'm sorry for coming so late, but I'm here now. Are you okay?" Naruto asked softly. She blinked in confusion as he took his features in. Naruto's beautiful sky-blue eyes were surrounded by pitch-black sclera, I think, and his face had cracks in it. It was an Edo Tensei, that was sure. "Naruto-kun, is that really you?" Hinata was in tears at this point as she saw her teammate freeze, as they saw what she was seeing. Naruto wordlessly picked her up from the ground and wrapped her in a hug, holding Hinata close to his chest as if he was afraid she would disappear at any moment. "I'm so sorry for leaving you. I'm so sorry." The blonde apologized profusely as he held his girlfriend, who was sobbing so painfully that it broke his heart. "Naruto," questioned Kiba, "how is this possible? Your scent's a little different, but it's still you. What's going on?" He looked over Hinata's head and smiled at the Inuzuka and Aburame sadly. "It's me, but it's also not me. I'm just an Edo Tensei, and as much as I would love to explain everything, we need to keep moving. There's more clones near Neji's team. We can defeat them, then talk about this." The two looked at Naruto like he was crazy, then nodded before looking at Hinata with concern. The Hyuga heiress had been clutching her lover's jacket desperately, refusing to let him go. "Hinata," he said gently, "the faster we get this done, the more time I can spend explaining things to you." Naruto carefully pried her away from his jacket, and his heart ached at the sight of the girl he loved so much, looking so broken. She hadn't said a word to him this whole time, which concerned him. Naruto stepped forward, gesturing for the tree to follow him. Teammate followed him diligently to Neji's location, and they watched in horror as there were more casualties in this area. Naruto wasted no time in freaking out the clones as he used nothing but taijutsu to take them down. Trees were sprouting out of each downed clone, and many shinobi began taking notice of the blonde's action as he swiftly took care of the problem that they had been fighting so hard to really eradicate. "He's the hero of the Konoha! He's fighting for us! Everyone help him out!" yelled a random shinobi. Tenten had overheard this, and she nearly dropped all her weapons at the sight of the knucklehead ninja. Lee was about to question her actions, but when he looked at the direction she faced, his eyes widened. "Naruto-kun, is that you?" asked Lee. "How? What is going on?" The commotion caused Neji to turn around, and he was desperately trying to school his features in his normal stoic facade. Fuck, I am not having a good time speaking right now. I don't know why, I'm sorry. The commotion caused Neji to turn around, and he was desperately trying to school his features to his normal stoic facade. It wasn't every day that the previous comrade that died was suddenly revived like that. He ran forward to meet Tenten and Lee, who were slowly walking towards Naruto, and watched the confusion of the shinobi surrounding them. Naruto sighed, then immediately got into the story of how he and Kurama had successfully prevented the Akatsuki from extracting the Kyuubi. His friends were more and more upset as he talked to each one of them, angry at themselves for not being able to protect the boy who had saved all of Konoha. "Why is it that we can't ever protect Naruto-kun even when he protects us without fail?" Hinata felt miserable as she thought about this, and she had been racked with guilt. Her boyfriend noticed her grim demeanor and grabbed her hand. "Hinata, don't do that. Stop blaming yourself. You're strong. You're all strong, and I know that we can all win at the end of this." Naruto's kind smile warmed her heart, but it didn't get rid of the pain that she felt. Instead, she snuggled into his side and sniffed miserably, basking in his affections for as long as she could. Their relationship was somewhat secretive in the sense that they didn't openly talk about it with anyone else, but they also didn't try hiding it. While Naruto was alive, he took Hinata's confessions during the battles, and with pain and a grain of salt, deciding that he only wanted to try things out with her, Naruto took the Hyuga heiress to another date. One date becomes two, then three, and so on. They both start dating. The blonde had fallen in love with her so bloody easily, and he didn't want to understand how he hadn't noticed her feelings before. Naruto came to love Hinata the way she was. Her perseverance, love for Konoha, and kindness made him deeply protective of his girlfriend. When he died, he knew that he messed up big time, especially since the two had only began spending 5 months or so as a couple. The one thing he was glad about was that before he died, Naruto had given himself to Hinata completely, and she to him. Wow, wow. I don't know if that's copyright. Holy shit, that was cringy. The night of passion was something he could never forget. Hinata's warm body snuggled next to him felt like pure bliss, and it was a night he never wanted to end. Naruto's train of thoughts were broken when Shino began speaking. Why are you glowing orange, dude? Could this be the Kyuubi's chakra? Yep, I forgot to tell you guys, but I've actually been friends with Kurama for a while now. This is the Kyuubi mode, gives me a lot more endurance than I had before. Naruto. He gave the turn to the crowd with a serious expression adorning his face. Everyone, I'm Uzumaki Naruto, and I accidentally opened my start menu, I'm sorry. Everyone, I'm Uzumaki Naruto, and with my power I can help you defeat any enemy that comes. Don't give up, we still have hope. I'm so tired, I'm sorry. I just gotta end it, okay. Don't give up, there's still more to do, we can't lose hope. Watching him take down so many opponents had improved the moods of the people in the area, and they all looked at Naruto with hope. Hi! Naruto's friends watched the scene with warmth in their heart, knowing that Naruto could bring happiness wherever he went. This time was of no difference, and little did Naruto know, he would be reuniting with his father sooner than expected. Dun dun dun! And holy motherfucking god, I am tired beyond belief. Almost fell asleep twice while recording the video itself. This is really tiring. I am also grateful. Okay, fucking hell, I've gone on rambles twice while recording this one video. I just wanted to record some weird shit again. Also, to all the One Piece fans, I think the one person who still cares about One Piece, I'm gonna be releasing the next One Piece episode in about 3 days, so stay tuned for that, I suppose, or get new shoes. I'd say getting new ones. Anyway, with everyone else gone, let's do the whole November thing. Come on, you know what you do. You know what you do. Anyway, I'm tired. Good night, everyone. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my videos if you guys enjoyed it. I am tired. I want to go to bed. Thank you all. And, yeah, I guess that's about it. See you around. Fuckface.